Hello everyone, my name is Pamela Pacheco and now I'm going to explain you my teaching resource for this activity. I wrote this because for me it's easier to keep my ideas writing. So this is the kind of approach that I used um, to understand better what I'm going to tell you. Number one, the pedagogical purpose of my resource. The main pedagogical purpose of my resource is to help children between 6 and 9 years old develop basic English vocabulary and simple sentences structure through mindful communication. The flashcards introduce children from different countries and the foods like using the sentence pattern I like rather than the focus on memorizing vocabulary. The resource encourages learners to communicate simple personal preferences while also becoming aware that English is used by people from many different cultures. In my class, I will use flashcards and also I will use a sentence pattern with I like, I don't like, and that's the pedagogical purpose of my resource. How it supports children learners. My resource follows the principles of English as an international language. Instead of presenting English as a belonging only to native speakers from countries such as United States or the United Kingdom, the flashcards include children from different cultures backgrounds such as Chile, Egypt, Japan, and Mexico. This approach helps Chilean students to understand that English is a global language used to communicate with people from many cultures. At the same time, including a Chilean child helps learners see their own culture represented, which increases relevance and strengthens their culture identity while promoting respect from diversity. Number 3. How it reflects cognitive and linguistic development theory for children age 6 to 9. The design considers the developmental characteristics of children between 6 and 9 years old. At this age, according to Piaget, children are in the concrete operational stage, so they learn best through visual materials and concrete examples. For this reason, I included colorful illustrations, flashcards, family food, and a short, repetitive sentence. I have here the flashcard I use for this part. Wait a minute. Those are the flashcards I use. Here they are. And also I used these flashcards from the students from different countries. Here we have Kenji, Lucas, and also a Chilean girl, Sofia. She likes bread and cheese. Okay. So continue. From a linguistic perspective, learners at this age benefit from repetition, predictable language patterns, and opportunities to hear and produce simple oral language. The repeated sentences structure I like, I don't like helps students recognize patterns and gradually build confidence when speaking. Vygotsky's zone of proximal development guides my planning by ensuring that tasks are slightly above students' current level are achievable through supports. Scaffolding is provided through visual guest modeling, repetition, guided practice, and teacher questioning before students work independently. For example, the teacher first models the sentence, Then the students repeat it together and finally produce their own sentences. Krashen theory of comprehensible input is reflected in the use of the simple vocabulary supported by clear images. Motivation was another important consideration. The call for design, familiar foods, friendly cartoons characters, and multicultural representation create an engaging learning environment that encourages participation. Students are more motivated and they can relate the content to their own experiences while also learning. One possible challenge is that students may feel shy or lack of confidence when they speak English in front of the class. To address this, I will begin with whole class repetition and pair work before asking students to speak individually. This gradual release of responsibility produces a safe learning environment, reduces anxiety, and allows students to build confidence through collaborative practice. And finally, as a conclusion, my teaching resource is grounded in educational theory rather than simple presenting vocabulary. It integrates the principles of English as an international language with Piaget's cognitive development theory, Vygotsky's zone of proximal development and scaffolding, Krashen's comprehensible input, hypothesis, and motivational strategy appropriate from young learners. Together, these theoretical foundations support meaningful, inclusive, and developmentally appropriate English learning for Chilean primary school students. Thank you.